Week 1 in the Always Sunny in Sayreville League, and football is back. This is the weekly update. Boom. So it was a pretty interesting week 1, but as it turns out, it's always an interesting week 1 in the Always Sunny in Sayreville League. We have a team who's never won on opening day. We have a team who's never lost on opening day, and this year one team made history. So that got me thinking about our league history and whether the outcome of week 1 has any effect or correlation to the season's outcome. And it seems like in the Always Sunny in Sayreville League, it kind of does. Hello, welcome to the Nice. Welcome to the stat room. Let's crunch some numbers on week 1. As far as win streaks go, Team Blumpkin can't be beat. Literally. They've never lost on opening weekend. With his win this year, Matt moves to 2-0, so technically he has never lost on opening weekend either. Moving to the other end of the spectrum, Rusty Strombone got their first week 1 victory this year. And what you talking about, Hillis, has never won, repeat, never won on opening weekend. Now you may say it's just 1 week and it's not how you start, it's how you finish, but in the Always Sunny in Sayreville League, 80% of the playoff teams won on opening weekend. That's right, 8 out of the 10 playoff teams from the last 2 years were all winners on the first week of the season. In 2012, all 5 teams that won on opening day made the playoffs. And in 2013, 3 out of the 5 teams that won went to the playoffs. Open Slot and Team Blumpkin, the 2 week 1 streakers, are the teams that did not make the playoffs last year. Furthermore, 75% of the teams that played for the championship won on opening weekend. Both teams in 2012 and one of the 2 teams last year. And yes, both champions were week 1 winners in their respective seasons. Now granted, it is only 2 seasons, and this season could change those averages dramatically. The guys who lost on opening weekend should pretty much just give up. Back to you in the studio. Thank you very much. And it should be noted that for the past 2 seasons and also this season, the schedule has been exactly the same, meaning that we all played the same guy week 1 that we played last year and the year before, unless there was a new team. We all played the same guy in week 5. We all played the same guy, and the schedule never changes. And I noticed that a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, the schedule's been the same for the last couple of years. I should change it so it's different this year. And then once I started to actually change the schedule and realized what was involved in comprising a schedule where every in-division team played each other twice, and then you played the other guys once, and it's all spread out throughout the year, I was like, so over the course of the off season, I'll change up the schedule and I'll make it so that the parameters are met. But for this season, we'll have the same schedule as we always did. All right, now it's time for this week's GOAT. Bobby J has never won on opening weekend. You heard it in the stat room. Bobby J is obsessed with being in these tight 2-point games, 1-point game, 3-point game. If you look at the point differential, Bobby J has the closest point margin of anybody there is. But he always loses. Bobby J lost by 3.1 points this week. And that quarterback situation. Bobby J has 3 quarterbacks on his roster right now. He had Colin Kaepernick in the game, who had a respectable score, 21 point something. On the bench he had Alex Smith, who had 22 point something, and Matt Ryan, who was the highest scoring player in the league this week, 44.4 points, I believe. So Bobby J continues his tradition of losing on opening weekend, continues his tradition of being involved in these tight, close games, and unfortunately, is this week's GOAT. And now, week one's hero, Levis Gloss. This is the first time in franchise history that Ortiz has beaten Toddler Fight Club. These two teams are division rivals, which means they play twice a year. And until now, that meant that Toddler Fight Club won twice a year. In 2012, after sweeping the regular season, Toddler Fight Club knocked Ortiz out in the first round of the playoffs. After his 2013 regular season sweep, Toddler Fight Club defeated Ortiz in the championship game. That's 6 Ortiz losses in just 2 seasons if you're counting at home. Something had to give. This year, Ortiz talked some lighthearted trash on the ESPN Smackboard, which might be the first time in league history that's ever been used, but he went out and he backed it up. Now, it wasn't pretty, but he was able to notch his first victory in franchise history over Toddler Fight Club, 126.5 to 117.1. First round pick Peyton Manning put up a 28.5, and Orange Julius scored a 35.4. Now, like I said, it was a close game. The champ didn't go down without a fight, but he did just leave too many points on the bench this week. So after 2 long years and 6 tough losses, Levis Gloss wins, and the curse is broken. And for that, Ortiz is this week's hero. Alright guys, key matchups. This week we have 2 games between the 1-0 teams and 2 games between the 0-1 teams. Shower Hug takes on Open Slot, and Levis Blunts takes on Rusty Strong Bones, so we're going to be keeping an eye on those 2 games. And on the other side of the coin, Toddler Fight Club tries to shake off an uncharacteristic start against the Gotham Rogues, and the Cleveland Browns, the Golden Showers, take on What You Talking About Hillis. All 4 teams looking for their first win of the season. So that's it. That's not it. We got one more thing. Go watch last season's Coaches Challenge video. It's in, obviously last season's weekly updates, I think. Go find it. It's on the YouTube page. Watch the Coaches Challenge video, because I don't want anybody to complain about score corrections or anything like that because they didn't know the rules or whatever. We work within the confines of ESPN scoring limits, but we try to be a little bit more comprehensive than that. So that's it. Boom. Remember to set your lineups. Go watch that other video just to freshen up on those rules. And I will see you next week where it's always sunny.